doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you ready for today? We are in the middle of the playoffs right here in the round of 16. How are you feeling today? How do you approach today? I know you had a little issue this weekend.
And we have issues every weekend, so just another one to set us back and put us behind and make us work harder and dig out of a hole. So, nothing that we haven't done before, nothing that we can't do again. But, I felt like our car was pretty decent yesterday in practice. We had good speed going, and we were better in the long run, right up until, the tire issue. We popped the tire and hit the fence, and guys did a good job of being able to repair the primary car, so we did not go to a backup. And, hopefully that bodes well for us for today, and we can make our way forward and get up there towards the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Busch, he's got 2 wins here at Kansas. I feel like if anybody can make it to the front, you can. Explain this speedway to anybody. Is there anybody's first race here? So there's actually a lot.
Good.
Just from your perspective, how's it like out there? What makes it so challenging, but what makes it so fun for you too?
I would say the biggest challenge with Kansas is, the grip level, like what the temperature is and where the wind is. That's kind of the biggest thing. Yesterday there wasn't a whole lot of wind. Today the flag is standing out, going down the backstretch there, so that changed the characteristics and handling a little bit of your cars. Typically now today we're going to fight tight in the middle of 3 and 4, just the way the wind wants to push you up the track. So, for us, I don't know if I need to be closer to you or further from you. But that's kind of the biggest thing. You can run low, you can run high. Typically it's going to be up high majority of the day. Last spring here, earlier this year, our car was really, really good at the bottom of 3 and 4. We don't get the run off the corner down the straightaway that you want by doing that, but you can make up a little bit of time with shorter distance. So we'll see what happens today.
Absolutely. So we're in the playoffs. I want to know, too, you have 2 championships under your belt. 2015, 2019 NASCAR Cup Series champion up here. So he's used to this, right? You're used to this, the pressure, what happens in the playoffs. But for you, or maybe you notice this in other drivers, how does the mood change once the playoffs hit? Or does it?
No, I think the no give and all take is pretty much all year. The playoff drivers, they always, expect to have a little bit more given to them from the non-playoff drivers, but the non-playoff drivers are pissed they didn't make the playoffs, so they don't care. They're running their own race, they're doing their own deal, they got their own business to take care of, so it's always tough, it's always cutthroat, and especially when it gets down to the round of 8. That's really where your season is made, in those 3 races of the round of 8, trying to get yourself into that championship 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle ranks number 9 of the winningest drivers ever in the sport. You've won everywhere. Is there a particular win that's a little bit sweeter than the other?
No, not really. What's my favorite win? I would have to go with 2015 Homestead. That was our championship day, winning the championship, first win at Homestead, being able to win in the green M&M's car. That was a pretty awesome day. There's a championship shirt. Thank you. Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah. So that was my favorite, I would say.
How'd you celebrate that night?
I don't remember. Yeah, that was the hard part about it too was that championship, the first one, everything went by so fast it was a blur. You don't really remember it because you're everything's happening so fast. You're taking here, you're taking there, do this interview, do that. You never stop for 4 hours after the race is over, And so then the second time I won, I tried to slow everything down and just take it all in and just really enjoy it and relish in the moment. So that was good.
What takes up all night? Like you said, after you win 4 hours of interviews, but you guys probably don't know either. He probably ran on a few hours of sleep, and then they fly you everywhere.
For
more appearances. It's insane.
Yeah, they tell you, they're like, well, we're going to be here at 8 a.m. to pick you up, and I'm like, no, I don't see 8 a.m. So pick another guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a big year for you as NASCAR. It's their 75th anniversary. You and your brother got chosen as part of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. And when they presented that award to both of you guys, you were together. How cool was that to be with him when that happened?
It was cool. It was great. I think that's kind of neat that, both Busch brothers, Kurt and myself, and Father Tom, raised 2 champions, and don't forget Mom mother.
Oh,
Dave.
yeah. I see her every weekend, too. She's still around here.
She does. She comes around. So obviously just, that was really, really cool, really special to be able to honor in that. And, my 2 championships, his 1 championship. I have yet to check the Daytona 500 box. Hopefully I can do that. He did. So, we'll continue to build on the accolades and keep going here for me for the next few years. But, it was great to see Kurt announce his retirement and that he's happy with where he's at and what he was able to do and accomplish. And so he's still around. He's always floating around as well, too. And so it's pretty cool to still have him here.
Yeah, still consulting for 2311. But I want to know, too, tell people kind of briefly your story from Las Vegas, right? Your dad raced or he worked on the cars?
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
He did both.
Yeah.
But tell us your story.
My dad was a dealership mechanic, and he went to the local short track out in Las Vegas and met a guy, and they were racing, and the guy was kind of done with it, over with it. They weren't running very good. And my dad was like, you know what, just let me have the car, let me work on it, let me do it. And so the guy gave him his car and said, here. And my dad won the last 2 of the 3 races of the year with it and went out the next year, won the championship in it. And so brought that guy's interest back up, and my dad was really good, really great. I always asked him, I was like, well, why didn't you ever move back east in order to go race and run NASCAR and stuff like that? And he was like, we didn't have no money. We couldn't do that. I'm like, well, nobody did. Richard Petty says he came from no money. The Earnhardts came from no money. Like, you could have done it. And I guess he just kind of missed the boat on that. He's from Chicago area, so he went the wrong way. He went Vegas instead of North Carolina. But it all worked out. So he got 2 boys in it, and, the rest is history.
Absolutely. And now Brexton's in it, which is so cool to watch. Yeah. Yep. I believe he just raced, was it Friday night locally?
We raced Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Yeah. So
there you go.
He swept the week. Yeah, he won all 3 nights. So,
That's really cool. What is that like from your perspective, being his
dad? Stressful, because I know if the car's right, he can do it. And when the car's not right, he still carries us. He does a good job. But, I'm the car owner. I'm the crew chief. I'm part-time mechanic. I'm all that stuff. We've got a full-time.
You're your dad, basically. You're doing everything, too.
Yeah. So we've got a full-time guy that does everything, drives the truck and gets us there and all that stuff and works on everything throughout the day. But, him and I, we kind of bounce ideas off of each other all the time about what we need to do to make Brexton's car better, faster. And, we kept slinging some stuff at it, and we kept picking up speed through the week, and others kind of just stayed flat. So we had a really good night last night.
He seems to really enjoy it. If you guys follow him on Instagram, you can just see it in his face. He really loves it.
Well, he loves winning.
But you do too.
He hates losing.
I think he gets a little honestly, don't you?
Yeah. So, but no, he does enjoy it. He likes it, and about a year and a half or so ago, he really started to kind of click into wanting to watch film and look at stuff and watch my races and critique me all the time. And so, the funny story that we were at Bristol earlier this year for the dirt race, and we're running in the heat race, and I'm running second to Bubba Wallace, and I'm catching him a little bit on the bottom, but not enough. I'm not going to get there in time. And so I think to myself, I'm like, okay, what's Brexton going to critique me about now when I get back to the motorhome later,
That's great.
And so I knew he was going to say, well, Dad, how come you didn't try the high side? So for the last 2 laps of the heat race, I tried the high side in order to see if it was any better, and I ended up losing time. I didn't lose a spot, but I lost space to the 23, but that was just to be able to go back to the motorhome and see, it was slower.
That's great. You had to show him. You didn't want to get any backlash from
but
him.
If I would have lost the spot, I'd have been pissed.
You're also a truck owner. When did that thought process come about? Like, hey, I can take this on, I can do that, and how much time do you put into it, right? There's so much going on in your life.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, that started way before Brexton and kids and wife and all that sort of stuff. So KBM was started in 2007. It became a Truck Series team in 2010, and we've been in existence since then. So we just scored 100 wins this year, which was awesome.
All right.
So, I think the next closest is 50 with Roush Racing, which Roush has been gone for a long time. But Thor Sports getting up there. They've got guys winning, and I think KHI is actually third on the list, so they're not there anymore. But yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. I spend as much time as I can there. Obviously, with Brexton's racing, I get to go to the shop. It's in KBM, Brexton stuff is. So I get to be with the truck guys and spend some time with them and just kind of go through some stuff and try to help the younger guys. We got Sanchez, Jack Wood, and Chase Purdy running for us this year.
Great.
So they qualified really good here.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Chase had a tire issue in the race, I think, and Jack was just super loose. So, I was super tight here in the spring, and now they were super loose. So shoot the middle, boys. Shoot the middle.
That's right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Kyle Busch, he's got Casey's on the car today.
Thank you guys so much.